Okay, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you grabbed a coffee. Hopefully you got a keyboard. We're going to get down and write some code here that's going to help us get our data into R so that we can actually do cool stuff with our data. Today, I'm just going to show you how to read in the standard CSV file with which many of you are already familiar. It's probably accounts for about 90% of my data reads. I do want to acknowledge that there's tons of other data formats out there in the world, though, and there are tons of different ways to read data into R. So this one simple example hopefully will get you started in the event that you need some others. We're going to work with the workshop files here. You can see I've got my project open in the top left, and you can see that I'm automatically looking at, my various code files and then this super cool data folder. All right, and that's what we're going to concern ourselves with today. So in order to do this, the first thing we need to know is when we read data into R, it's not going to change the file that's on our computer unless we tell R to do so. And we're not going to talk about how to do that in this introductory session. We do need to save the contents of that file to some kind of container when we bring the file into R, though. So that container is going to be an object, and most of the data that we read in will be an object type that's known as a data frame. This is just your standard rectangular data set with rows and columns, and we'll talk lots and lots about these in the various workshop modules and live sessions. So I'm going to give this a name. We're going to read in the grass carp data. These are down inside of the data file. Again, if you don't have those, you need to go download them before you can do this. And I'm just going to give it a really similar name. I'll just call it grass carp. And I'm going to say grass carp's equal to, that's what this little assignment arrow is. You can use an equal sign if you like to. I'm going to say grass carp is equal to, and you see read.csv pops up. I'm going to choose this one because I have a CSV file that I want to read in. And you'll notice to the right of this, in this little manila pop-up, the first argument that we're going to pass to this command or function called read.csv is going to be the file name. And we've got to quote this. So we'll go ahead and choose that one. And we'll say file equals. Now I'm going to go quote. And because my data are inside of a folder, I need to start with the name of that folder, data. It's right down here in the bottom right. You can see it. And now I'm going to do a /, Unix-like if you're into programming, right? Not so much DOS-like. And now I need the name of that file. And if I type the first few letters, I can hit the tab key and R will cycle through the possible matches for those. In this case, there's only one. So now I'm going to read.csv the grass carp data, and I'm going to save it to this object that I'm naming grass carp. I'll run that line of code, and it looks like nothing happened, right? Everything's still all blue over here, but if you go down to your environment tab, you'll notice that you now have something named grass carp, and you can click on this blue circle with the triangle to see how R views that data set. Here we've got year on top. It's int, it's an integer, and you've got some lists of years there. TL, the total length of a fish in millimeters, and you can see you've got some variability in length there. When we come together live, we'll talk about how to break these data down, how to process them, eventually how to do some cool fisheries statistics on these kinds of data, and then to wrap everything up, how to plot them out in space. Don't forget, red is bad. Make sure you save your files. Until next time.